Is South Africa witnessing a quiet power struggle inside one of its most sensitive crime-fighting units? And is the public being told the full truth? That is the question now hanging over the KwaZulu-Natal Hawks after conflicting claims emerged about the status of Major-General Lesetja Senona, the provincial head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation. Despite Senona publicly claiming that he has effectively been removed from office, had his workplace gadgets seized, and sidelined while under investigation, the Hawks have now issued a firm clarification stating that Senona remains an employee of the organization. The contradiction has sparked confusion, speculation, and renewed scrutiny over leadership, accountability, and transparency within South Africa's elite crime-fighting unit. Before we go any further, remember to like this video, share it, and subscribe for continued coverage of major crime, policing, and accountability stories across South Africa. And early on, we want to hear from you. Do you believe the Hawks are being transparent about this situation? Or does this point to deeper internal tensions? Share your views in the comments section below. At the center of this unfolding story is Major-General Lesetja Senona himself. According to Senona, he was informed by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi that he must vacate his current office while an investigation involving him is underway. Senona claims this instruction amounted to being pushed out of his role, even though no formal dismissal or suspension letter has been issued. Adding to the controversy, Senona alleges that his official electronic devices, including work-related gadgets, were seized. A move he suggests signals a loss of trust and authority within the organization. From his perspective, these actions indicate that he has been effectively sidelined, regardless of what official statements may say. However, the Hawks have pushed back strongly against that interpretation. In response to growing public attention, the organization has clarified that Senona has not been dismissed and remains an employee of the Hawks. According to their version of events, any changes relating to office space or access form part of internal processes linked to an ongoing investigation, not a termination of employment. This sharp contrast between Senona's account and the Hawks' official position has raised serious questions. If Senona is still an employee, why was he asked to move offices? If he is under investigation, what safeguards are in place to ensure both accountability and fairness? And perhaps most importantly, why does the public appear to be receiving two very different narratives? The Hawks occupy a unique and powerful position in South Africa's law enforcement landscape. Tasked with investigating serious organized crime, corruption, and high-profile cases, the unit's credibility depends heavily on public confidence and internal integrity. Any perception of instability, factionalism, or unclear leadership can have far-reaching consequences. Sources close to the matter suggest that the instruction for Senona to vacate his office was communicated as a temporary administrative measure, rather than a disciplinary sanction. The reasoning, according to these accounts, is that officials under investigation are sometimes moved to prevent interference with inquiries or access to sensitive information. Yet Senona appears to view the situation differently. From his perspective, being told to leave his office, coupled with the seizure of work devices, amounts to being stripped of authority without due process. This difference in interpretation lies at the heart of the current controversy. It is important to note that at this stage, no formal charges have been publicly disclosed against Senona, and the nature of the investigation remains unclear. This lack of detail has only fueled speculation and heightened public interest. Without transparency, even routine administrative actions can appear suspicious. This is not the first time leadership within the Hawks has come under scrutiny. Over the years, the unit has faced allegations of political interference, internal divisions, and contested appointments. Each time, the stakes have been high, because the Hawks are expected to operate above reproach, insulated from both political pressure and internal power struggles. The involvement of Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi adds another layer of complexity. As KwaZulu-Natal's top police official, Mkhwanazi wields significant authority. Senona's claim that it was Mkhwanazi who instructed him to move offices has prompted questions about who ultimately controls key decisions within the Hawks, and how those decisions are communicated. From a governance perspective, the situation highlights a delicate balance. On one hand, law enforcement agencies must act decisively when allegations arise against senior officials. On the other, those officials are entitled to fair treatment and clear communication. When that balance appears to tilt too far in either direction, institutional credibility suffers. Public reaction to the story has been swift and divided. Some commentators argue that moving Senona aside during an investigation is a sensible precaution, designed to protect the integrity of the process. Others believe the handling of the matter appears heavy-handed and opaque, potentially undermining trust in both the investigation and the leadership of the Hawks. Civil society groups have also weighed in, emphasizing the importance of transparency. They argue that while investigations must be protected, the public deserves clarity when senior law enforcement figures are involved. Silence or mixed messaging, they warn, creates space for rumors and erodes confidence. Within policing circles, the unfolding situation is being closely watched. Senior officers across the country are acutely aware that how this matter is resolved could set a precedent for how future internal investigations are handled. It raises questions about protocol, communication, and the rights of officials under scrutiny. The Hawks, for their part, have reiterated that internal processes are ongoing, and that employment status should not be confused with operational decisions taken during investigations. They maintain that Senona's role as an employee remains intact, even if his day-to-day functions are affected. Still, the optics remain troubling. When a senior official publicly claims he has been pushed out, and the organization responds by saying he has not, the disconnect becomes a story in itself. It suggests either a breakdown in communication or a deeper disagreement about authority and procedure. As this story continues to unfold, attention is likely to turn to the formal processes governing investigations of senior law enforcement officials. Are there clear guidelines? Are they applied consistently? And are those affected given proper explanations of what is happening and why? For now, what is clear is that Major-General Lesetja Senona remains under investigation, that he has been asked to vacate his office, and that the Hawks insist he is still their employee. Everything else, including the implications of these actions, remains contested. The outcome of this matter could have significant consequences, not only for Senona's career, but for the reputation of the Hawks in KwaZulu-Natal and nationally. In an environment where public trust in institutions is fragile, how leaders handle internal crises matters as much as the investigations themselves. This is a developing story, and its full implications are still emerging. We will continue to monitor official statements, legal developments, and credible reports as they become available, and bring you verified updates as this situation evolves. Before we wrap up, we want to hear from you again. Do you believe the Hawks are handling this matter appropriately? Or does this situation point to deeper internal problems within law enforcement? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this update informative, like the video, share it with others, and subscribe for continued coverage of accountability and justice in South Africa.